Hello viewers, I am currently on a quest to find the best RPGs ever made. And the goal is very simple. I will be playing any game that could be considered an RPG and then ranking them to see which ones are truly exceptional. But funny enough, I'm gonna start this series off with a game that many people might not even consider to be an RPG. And as I'm sure you've already read the title of the video, today we are covering the plague that's hiding in the shadows of the gaming industry. The game that truly put Arcane Studios on the map, the original Dishonored. But whenever I talk to people about Dishonored or I just hear random news about the game, they always refer to it as a stealth game. And yes, while that is true, Dishonored at its core is a role-playing game, and not just any role-playing game, one of the best role-playing games ever made. So let's dive in and hopefully I can prove why this game is such an amazing RPG. Alright, let's begin. Unlike other RPGs, you don't get to create your own character. Instead, we are playing as Corvo Otano, the Empress's bodyguard. And the game begins as we arrive back in Dunwall, and immediately the Empress is brutally assassinated right in front of us. Which obviously sucks because that is the person we are sworn to protect, and somebody just did a speedrun on her life and got a new world record. But what double sucks is that Corvo wasn't just her bodyguard, he was also her body's guard, if you know what I mean. And what triple sucks is that after she gets assassinated, we are framed for the assassination. And on top of that, Emily, the Empress's daughter, who we are also sworn to protect, also gets kidnapped. So if you're keeping track, the game has just begun, but we've already taken 4 massive L's. We've lost the Empress, we've lost Emily, we've lost our lover, and most importantly, we've lost our honor. So it's obviously time for some payback. We easily break out of jail and get to work. But to make things easier, we also get help from this faction called the Loyalist. These guys are a small faction who are still loyal to the Empress and her daughter. And even though these guys can't agree on how to make a cup of tea, they insist on helping us save Emily and get revenge. But since beggars can't be choosers, we team up with them. So off we go to find every bastard that was part of this plan to assassinate the Empress. And our first target is High Overseer Campbell, a man with the morals of a sewer rat and an ego that could block out the sun. To achieve this revenge, you can be sneaky and poison his wine to make this look like a truly tragic accident. Or you could brand him with the mark of shame, which isn't deadly, but it's just as effective when it comes to ruining his life, which is what we're looking for. But if you're like me and have a bit of a darker urge, you're looking for something a little bit more bloody, a little bit more gruesome. And if you find yourself with this feeling, just remember the workers in Dunwall may not have many rights or protections, but the rats certainly have unionized. And just like that, we've taken out the first target and completed the first mission. And from the way I explained it, it seems like these missions would be short. And they can be, it just depends on how you play the game. Each of the game's levels are massive, there's so many different routes to take, NPCs chatting about, and so many little secrets and things you can find. Back when I played the game for the first time in 2014, it took me over an hour to beat the first level, but after a few tries, I was able to get that down to like 20 minutes. And that's where the RPG elements of this game truly shine. You won't be spending too much time selecting dialogue options, but you will be spending a lot of time selecting your weapons, your paths, and everything else. And the best part is, it's not overcomplicated. The game is designed in such a way to where it gives you the perfect illusion of complete freedom. But moving on to our next targets, we have the Pendleton twins. Now these two aristocrats somehow run both a mine and a brothel at the same time. And you might be thinking this level might be more difficult because there's 2 of them, but not for an experienced, vengeful assassin like ourselves. To us, double trouble only means double the fun. So we go in to look at our targets at the Golden Cat, Dunwall's most extravagant but least sanitary whorehouse. And once you track them down, you have the option to kill them or to have a local gangster kidnap them and make them go work at the mine that they own. Typically for most of these guys I would show no mercy and kill them on the spot, but having them go work at their own mine to me sounds like a fate worse than death, so I always go with that one. And to all my would-be vengeful assassins out there, just remember sometimes a non-lethal option is worse than just killing them. So keep that in mind if you want to make the most cruel decisions. Our next mission surprisingly is not an assassination. It's a rescue mission of all things, and we have to save this mad scientist slash doctor Sokolov. And while I do love that mission and it does introduce some fun new obstacles you have to overcome, I'm more interested in the mission that comes after it. So let's move on. And just like that, we've made it to my personal favorite mission in the entire game. And unlike the last mission, we're back to good old-fashioned assassination. But with a twist, this time we're crashing a masquerade ball hosted by Lady Boyle, our target. And she seems okay enough, she certainly knows how to throw a party, but unfortunately she's funding the people who are trying to kill us, so she's gotta go. However, there's a slight issue. There are 3 Boyle sisters and we don't know which one is our target. So we gotta do some classic eavesdropping and smoozing around the party to find her. And we have to do all that while hoping we don't draw too much attention with our mask that just screams assassin. Thankfully it is a masquerade, so we're partially on theme, so we're allowed to mingle with the guest. And after mingling with the guest and gathering information, you'll figure out which Boyle sister is your actual target. And when you find her, you can just kill her right away, you can try to drown her, or you could do a third option that's really messed up. And what that choice entails is that you meet a nice gentleman at the party who tells you instead of killing her to just knock her out and give him her unconscious body. He says that he loves her and will take her far away and keep her happy for the rest of her life. And honestly, I wasn't thinking about it, so I just gave her away because it was a non-lethal option and I was doing a non-lethal playthrough. It was only after I got on the boat to leave the mission that I started to question my decisions. I was like, wait, did I just give an unconscious woman over to a man I don't know all because he said that he loved her and would make sure she would never be seen again? And I mean, yeah, she does deserve it, but it's still kind kinda icky. I probably should have just killed her instead. But it's also a nice example of what I was saying earlier. Sometimes these non-lethal options are just worse than just killing them. But to start concluding the video, because I don't want to spoil it too much for people out there who haven't played it, Dishonored is an amazing RPG that serves a vital role. It serves as a great introduction to players who are both new to RPGs and stealth games. The game's story is not going to blow you away or anything, but it still manages to have a great atmosphere and great world building. And the graphics as well aged very well. This oil painting style never gets old. And finally, where would I rank Dishonored on my RPG tier list? I'm gonna have to put it in the S tier. The game certainly isn't perfect, but it achieves everything it wants to. With fantastic levels, great combat, and truly unique abilities that you can use in so many creative ways, you have to play Dishonored. It is a must play. And that's it. Thanks for watching. And please let me know down in the comments any RPGs you guys would like me to cover. And also let me know your thoughts about Dishonored and if you guys also consider it to be an RPG.